So we've got a power squat or a V squat hip dominant movement here where we can challenge predominantly placing more load through the glutes or the hamstrings. Now, if you've watched the 45-degree back extension video, you'll have seen how we placed intent differently on 2 of the different variations there. And this is very, very similar. So Luke's locked in through the shoulder. There's nothing moving around here now. The spine's staying extended and he's in a pretty mechanically strong position. The first variation we're going to do is with the knee more extended, so a little bit more straight. And his foot positioning on the platform is where he can hinge the hips back effectively whilst keeping the heels locked down and staying in a stable environment. So with the knee a little bit more extended now, Luke's going to focus on shifting the hips back to a range where he feels comfortable, not surpassing that available degree of hip flexion. And as he drives up, he's going to screw the heels together on the floor, creating friction and pushing the hips through. So we're going to imagine that pivot point of the hip coming back, shifting back, knees more extended, and then drive the hips through and push the heels down into the floor. So we're placing quite a lot of load through the hamstrings there. The glutes will work, but we're placing quite a lot through the hamstrings, lengthening, and then driving through the floor, hitting that mid-range point of the hamstring. Now, if we were to change that slightly and keep the knees a little bit more flexed, a little bit more bent through the movement, we now create a bigger moment arm to the glutes. And now we're lengthening the glutes to this range here. He's gonna clamp the glutes together and then drive the hips through. Same contact on the heel, go one more, Luke. Slight bend in the knee, create a bigger moment onto the hip. He's gonna lengthen the glutes here, clamp, drive the hips through. Stop there for me. Because of the profile of the exercise, yes, he's loading more heavily through hip flexion, but on both movement variations, there's very little going on at the top, okay? So if we wanted to improve the profile of the exercise, we could grab a band and either attach it to some form of squat rack or just get somebody to hold it, loop it under his feet, so the band is now attached around his hips. And as the hip extends, the band's creating more torque through hip extension where we can load the glutes in a shorter range as opposed to just lengthened or mid-range.